So today, we're gonna start off by going over some mistakes I see a lot of people make on cables, but then we're gonna go over some variations I've been doing recently that I've been getting great results with. So if you're ready to get those triceps to stop looking like they were held back in the 6th grade, let's get after it. So if you just sit back at the gym and watch people train triceps for a little bit, you're gonna notice that most people's underlying goal is to throw that entire stack around because that's where they think growth comes from. But I want you to use that as a gauge to do the opposite. Anytime you get close to the bottom of the stack, you're doing something wrong. You're throwing the weight around, you're not connecting with the tricep, you're not isolating the muscle enough, and you're not gonna get the results you want. Personally, I don't get it. Maybe they're just wanting to yell as loud as you can, lift the entire stack badge away from becoming an Eagle Scout. And this usually comes in the form of a tricep press down where elbows are flared out to the side, but there's 2 inherent flaws with that. First being that you should be able to do this much weight. Cables aren't a good option for that. You should do something like a close grip bench where you can really overload the muscle. And the second being there's such a short range of motion that normally I'm a fan of, but not with these because there's so many secondary muscles that can jump in and be involved that, yeah, your tricep is one of the smaller ones. It's gonna get tired first, but it's a really inefficient way to train those triceps. So what I've been doing recently is taking it back to basics. Taking that asshole shoulder that likes to go rogue and do whatever the hell it wants out of the equation. First by making a fist, throw underneath that elbow and then flexing over top of it. Now you're always gonna have a great connection to that style of movement, but more importantly, it's gonna retrain you to flex in the proper way, which is down and back towards you. That way when you take the training wheels off again and do regular extensions, it'll be like second nature. So another thing I've been doing to tell that shoulder to go fuck off is doing extensions with my tricep pressed up against the machine. Nice part about that is you actually have to flex through that added pressure. And if you ever train with somebody or train somebody in person who doesn't connect to a muscle very well, all you have to do is poke and prod that muscle a little bit. Your body has a natural response to protect itself. It'll flex that muscle, so it'll help them develop a better mind-muscle connection. If you don't believe me, next time you're at the grocery store, poke somebody in the side of the ribs. Watch how hard they flex their obliques. Probably harder than they have in the last 10 years. The other nice part about this exercise is you can choose what part of the tricep you hit depending on how you set up and how you rotate that wrist. So if you want to hit more of that medial and long head, you're going to set up with your arm directly to your side, and then as you flex down, you're going to supinate that wrist. And if you want to target that lateral head, you're going to set up with your arm across your body, and as you flex down, you're going to pronate that hand towards the floor, and as you do, that hand's actually going to drift out away from your body a little bit. Let me finish with this. I think you're gonna find you get better results from most tricep exercises, other than presses, when you do them on cables. Take dumbbell kickbacks. You're gonna lose tension because you're working against the force of gravity, but not with cables. You got constant tension, and it's easier for you to dictate what part of the tricep you hit by rotating that wrist. Same applies for French press, but on top of that, most people can't do French presses correctly because they got shoulder issues, they end up flaring those elbows out. So nice part about that is you can actually drop those elbows down a little bit and hit it at a different angle that's better for those shoulders. Now, does that mean I only do cable exercises? No, I'm not a complete asshole. I think you need to change it up and test your body in different ways. Give you a little insight, the course comes out when I have a space of my own. Now I locked down a lease, now I'm waiting on the equipment. I reached out to Hammer Strength, that's gonna take 10 weeks. I'm too impatient for that. I reached out to Arsenal, no quote yet, but I'm assuming I'll have to give up a few testicles for that. But the biggest thing is how quickly I can get the stuff. If it's gonna take 10 weeks, I don't want that either. I might have to just piece it together one by one, unless somebody has a connection or they're gonna do something really shady to get me in the front of the line. We'll see. So as always, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment for the video you want next, and get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.